Good afternoon. I'm hoping somebody will join me in a minute or two, but I am soothing my soul with gluing this afternoon. It is a cloudy, kind of rainy day here in Florida, which is fine with me, and it's finally cooled down a little bit. So I'm just going to start gluing. And if, hi Candy, how are you? I entitled this Gluing My Soul with Soothing My Soul with Gluing. Hi, Lori. How are you? I'm glad you're good, Candy. That's awesome. Hi, Mary Beth. Hi, Christy. How are you? Um, Nice title. Yeah. Wasn't there a Roberta Flack song, Soothing My Soul or something? I don't know, Soothing My Soul. So the other day I made hi, Devin. I made another junk journal. I collect those, those heavy kind of tag type of ads that come in the mail. And once I get a bunch, I put them together into a book. And so this one, it's stiffer paper, and this is a real fat one, if you can see. And it was really hard for me to, but I managed to get it together in one signature. But the thing I like about these is a lot of these tags open up. So it gives you all sorts of possibilities. So it's just all tags from all sorts of places. And they're hard, they're tags, There's no really paper in here. It's all kind of tags. Hi, Nashua. Let's see who else is coming in. Okay. And so here's from the local Brevard Zoo, but it's heavy duty stuff. Anyway, and I also get these beautiful cruise catalogs. I signed up for them and they've been sending them to me for years. And quite honestly, I would never have the money to go on one of these luscious tours. However, the photographs and the pictures that come in these books are stunning. Like this is the cover of one of them. So that's in here too. And you can see these fold out. So the other day I was cutting that apart and I decided I would make a travel journal. So all of these images literally have come out of those cruise brochures or booklets. So I just thought I would just start gluing. I ended up having a whole page of them laid out, and I kind of had an idea where to put them. And now I'm just going to glue along. So if you guys have glue books around or things, I haven't just sat down and glued in a long time. I always find myself titsy fritting around and finding other things to do and never really sit down and glue stuff. So I kind of started to lay out this first page here. And I've got a little flappy here. And so I'm just going to start with that. And have glue will travel. Yes, absolutely. Have glue will travel. I've been using the now infamous Amazon Basic. I never realized that was going to become a thing. I ended up buying the little sticks and the big sticks because sometimes the big sticks are hard to handle, and you need the little sticks seem to be suitable in certain areas. So I had initially planned this here. And I did a lot of fussy cutting. Now, I like the fussy cut. So I know a lot of people don't, but I kind of do. So it doesn't really bother me. And I had this lamp post going here, like so. And let me just pick this up because I had, there's some pictures laid out, of course. Let's see. Yes. And she's going on here, page, and this is going here, and this is going here, and this is going here. And you'll see how this all comes together in uno momento, right? And here, and here, and so this is the plan. And this is It's going to be quite the challenge. But again, I think all of us, when we start a glue book, we kind of intend to finish it. I have some that I have finished, but it's okay if you don't finish them. I mean, obviously you're going to finish them if you run out of pages, right? So this is going to go in. Oh boy, I'll stick this here for now. This one has to go in first. And again, all of these images came out of these cruise books. And they are pretty stunning, as you will soon see. I haven't left my much room to work here. So what's everybody up to on this Saturday? I was looking to see if, Shannon Green has been popping in occasionally on Saturdays, and I didn't see her. And so I figured I would just pop on and hang out for a little bit. And I think I'm just going to, so I want to plop this under here. And hopefully that'll work. All righty, that's going to go here, like so. And I'll stick that there for now. Okay. Now my gorgeous tulip fields are going to go up here. Yeah. No, I'm sorry, not the tulip fields. My little Japanese girls walking in. I'm not sure where this is. I'm not sure where that is. Let's see. I might just tack these down for now and then come back and really glue them down just for, time's sake. And I'll just stick that here. So that'll go here like so, right? And then these ladies are going to be strolling down the street. I've had these ladies, I can't tell you how many places I've had them. I've had them all over. You're making French toast? Yes. Oh, yes. And, I had forgotten about French toast. Quite honestly, I hadn't made it in years. And I would say probably a couple of months ago, Aunt Beck said something about making French toast for Scott and for breakfast. And I went, oh, I forgot all about French toast. So I have been making it quite regularly. It's like you get your eggs, you get your toast, you get your milk. And yeah, I've become a real, now I add a little bit of cinnamon sugar. Hi, Arlene, you're cooking? Okay. I add a little bit of cinnamon sugar to my beaten egg mixture. And I know some people add a dash of vanilla also. But it's and it's quick, man. I've got it down to a science, man. I can get French toast on the table in probably, less than 10 minutes. So I had this kind of here. And, all right. Okay. And we're going to put this. Yeah, this is going to kind of go here. I got this city here. So let me put the city down. See, I'm using the smaller glue stick because I'm kind of gluing in a tight spot. You normally don't eat eggs. So this is a bit of a cheat. Is that just because, Devin, health reasons, or we add cinnamon once it's cooked? Yeah, I've done that too. Kind of sprinkle it on the top, and then while the toast is still hot, the sugar kind of caramelizes a little bit. Yeah, that's a good taste too. I think I'm going to tuck that in there. That's a good taste. I haven't made pancakes in a while because they using raisins. Oh, that is brilliant. Woohoo, I love that idea. Yes. And the raisins kind of get soft and kind of plump up a little bit. I'm going to tuck that in there like so. That's a great idea. I've made it with sourdough bread too. I use sugar-free vanilla creamer. Ooh, huh? That's a good idea. Instead of milk, Candy, you use the creamer for when you beat the eggs. God, look at all these variations. Who knew, right? That's a great idea. Oh, I broke my lamppost. Oh, okay. Oh, be careful, Ann. Be careful. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'll stick this right here. Well, now I'm all sticky. I'm sorry. Well, I hate to do that, but it's going to go into there. Yeah, this is a bit of, well, it's okay. A bit of fussy cutting, as you can see. Again, I find fussy cutting relaxing. I know a lot of people don't, but for me, okay, that's not too bad. Now I have a dude that goes here. Now he's kind of a little bit washed out, but again, when gluing and collaging, this is kind of a cross between straight up gluing, which I think a glue book is you just gluing basically pictures that appeal to you. This is my interpretation, of course. And collage is more of, you're going for arrangement. You have a specific vocal point. And I just think it's a little bit more formal than glue books. So this is kind of a cross, in my opinion. So we kind of got that dude there, and he's kind of washed out a little bit, but not too bad. All right. On to the next page. Got this gorgeous tulips. And I might stick this over, and then maybe over here, maybe put a piece of washi tape or something. And whoops, stick this down here. Let's see. French toast, raisin bread. I don't like eggs. Are you going to do some Zentangles and work on culling pages? Yes. Oh, Zentangling is another very relaxing. I've got a couple of really cool Zentangle books too. And there's a really good website called patterns.com. And they have a new Zentangle every Saturday. They post a new Zentangle. And they're pretty cool too. The variation is just, mind blowing. It's absolutely crazy. I watched Mary last night, and then she got lost. Hi, Janet. How are you? Yeah, I was just getting ready to do some serious gluing, which I haven't really done in a while, and I just decided to turn the camera on. It's great when you can have it kind of set up, and I kind of do. So, and I had cut all these pictures. These all come out of a cruise catalog that I get. I got on their mailing list, and these catalogs must cost a fortune to produce. And I guess I probably get one a week. And of course, I could never be able to afford to go on one of these cruises because, I mean, if I went on a cruise, I wouldn't want to be like down in the bowels of the ship with no view. If I was going to go, I'd want to be, have a lanai or a deck or something. And they're like, I don't know, $10,000, $12,000. So that's one of those dreams. All right, so that's going to go there. And then I have this lady who was one of out of the cruise ship folks. And this actually is a picture of the ceiling. But I'm going to use it as like a coffee table. I want it like so. So I'm going to glue that there like so. All right. And so how's the weather where you all are? Now, Mary Beth, you just moved, right? Didn't I hear that you'd moved recently? Now, are you in Arizona? Are you out in the desert? Well, it says Desert Nana, so duh. I'm assuming I'm trying to look at an answer here. I know Janet's in Groton, England. Yes, just moved, yeah. Ah, that's right. I forgot you're in South Jersey. Yep. My daughter-in-law is from South Jersey area. Yeah, we are. It's finally cooled down here in Florida. I've actually gone, I'm so excited to say 4 days without AC. And have all the windows open. Fans going though. But today's supposed to be a high of 79. So I'm thrilled. Let's see. South Jersey. Let's see. Where is your... I can't read that. Let's see. Where is your blank and I can't. I should have the chat over here on my iPad so I could read it. Slow stitching, yeah. You know what? I just ordered a what did they call them? The Mojave Desert. Get out. Mojave Desert. Mojave Desert. So have you moved to Oklahoma then? Okay. How hot is it in the Mojave Desert? Ah. Well, it's desert, right? Now the Mojave Desert, and I'm going to display my ignorance in geography, which I think we don't do a good job teaching that. That's in California, correct? I think. Yeah, it says, I love your... Yes. Lori, watching Lori paint is very soothing also. Yeah, I caught a late night painting session with Lori, and I think Sharon was your reader, right? I think that's really nice to have I know some people are doing that. They have they have somebody that reads for them, reads the chat as they are doing their thing. And I know Rosemary Morris does that. And I think that's just, a great idea. I'm going to stick her here. And she's holding the very famous I think this is the Danish lady that's in the harbor at Copenhagen. And I'm going to stick that here. And I probably should have something to go here, but I'm just going to do that here. Again, I can always, so that kind of goes there. And I can always maybe stamp or do a little, whoops, I'm at it, and do a little doodle. Can you see it now? Hi, Mrs. Gigi. How are you today? So that's kind of, now I have a penguin, but I just don't, he could go there or he could go here. So we'll put him aside. Now I'm going to turn the page and open this up and trying to read. We're all good? Okay. Okay, so this is kind of a blank page. So, all right. No, that's going to go on the other page. All right. You know what? I'm going to skip that, and I'm going to open this like so. And you can see where this can be a little fidgety. But I have this big page here. And this is the pool area. Right? So I think I'm going to stick that there. And I have a little fish that was cut out from one of the pages. We'll have the fish. And then I have a big shrimps. They always have a picture of a beautiful meal. So I think I'm going to glue that down here. All right, so I'm going to stick these two here. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Janice came in? That's right. Janice, you work, right? Oh. I miss working. No, I do a little bit. And I was fortunate that after I retired, I was able to go back and sub. But when when COVID arrived, I decided it wasn't worth the risk to go to sub. Even though the school I worked at is fully open. I just envisioned, being on kids' cases all day long. Johnny, you don't have your mask on right. Susie, you're too close to Johnny. All of that. But anyway, and sub pay is not very good, so it just wasn't worth the aggravation. But I enjoyed it, when it was available. Okay, so I'm going to put that there, right? And I had a little not a goldfish, an angelfish. Hi, Stax. Have your feet up. Yeah. Stick the little fish. Well, I could put him here, but well, maybe he's biting that guy. They will nip you, And I have and this is for you, Janet. Here's a toucan. Are you still working on your toucan collage? I'm trying to see here. Because that's what inspired me to do my cat, Lily. It's quite an undertaking. Oh, I started to tell you, I bought, because everybody's slow stitching, and it is so, Piranha looks a little like, well, I think it is a sunfish. I don't know what it is, but it's not. If it were a piranha, the water would be a little bloodied. So I bought I think what they call, is it a fat stick? No, not a fat stick. Oh my gosh. A fat stack, right? Okay. All righty. It's like doing a jigsaw puzzle, I bet. I love those jigsaw puzzles. Over 1,000 pieces. It's a fat stack, right? And a fat stack is a stack of material, because everyone is slow stitching. So, that the enabler mode is in full swing here with me. And people, are doing Christmas things, and I don't have any Christmas fabric. I really don't have any fabric at all. I bought a bag of fabric strips on eBay a couple of years ago, and that's it. So I bought like I guess a yard of Timmy fabric a while ago, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but anyway, so I bought a fat stack of Christmas themed things, and then you're supposed to put a backing on the fabric. And I'm hoping that's called batting, because that's what I bought. So I hope I bought the right thing. So we'll add this little fishy to the shrimp. And then we'll add the shrimp dish to the. So I had, cut all these out. It took me, a couple of hours. But again, I find this relaxing. So this is going to go here. I kind of had some of this laid out. Now it's kind of all messed up anyway. So again, when I have open spaces, I might doodle or stamp or, do something else, or even throw some paint on it. You know what I love to use for black is I love using a black gesso. Oh, duvet. Okay. But I can use batting will work. That's what I'm hoping. Oh, crochet. Now, crochet, what is those little, is that, that little like wooden tubey thing that had kind of like bent nails on it? Is that kind of like a crochet trainer thing for kids? Because I remember doing that as a kid. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? And then you pop those off. Some of that. Okay. All right. I think I mentioned a while ago, I was trying to teach myself to knit, and unfortunately I bought aluminum knitting needles, and that's an absolute disaster because the yarn just slides all over the place. So I really need to get some bamboo or wooden knitting needles. I mean, many, many years ago, I could knit in purl, and I would have these, I don't know what you couldn't even call them scarves. It was just a knit and purl thing that went on for 20 years. Spools with nail knitting, sort of. Okay, you have a spool loom. Okay. Do you remember those little looms where you'd make pot holders for your loved ones for Christmas? I remember those. I shouldn't have glued that down. And you'd kind of weave them. Oh, French knitting. We're using the little wooden thingy with the like the bent nails. Okay. You can still buy them. We call it punikin. Love making pot holders. Yes. Yeah. Uh-huh. And the other thing we would make in camp was, I'm going to try to get I just want to get my iPad up. The other thing we used to make was lanyards. You would kind of weave the pieces of plastic and make keychains and stuff. I don't know. Does anybody remember doing that? That was kind of fun. I don't even know how to find myself. Ann Lar. Okay, is that me? Live. Okay. Now I can see the chat much better. Oh, I'm going to. Now I can see the chat. Now I got to turn that. Never mind. Now I got to turn that. Never mind. Okay. This is so much better. Oh, I can see you now. I'm going to learn to knit. Okay. Yeah, there's tons of, there's tons of videos, YouTube videos. Just type in how to knit. And I signed up for something called Great Courses. And they have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of courses online in every topic that you can possibly imagine, from cooking to watercolor to knitting and French. You want to learn how to speak French, parlez-vous français, and sprechen Sie Deutsch, and you name it. And you can buy it by the course, but I actually subscribe to it, and it's $10 a month, and you have access to their complete Great Courses library. You can watch at your leisure. And I've actually used some of those courses when I was teaching. Um, I taught American military history, and they had a great American military history course that I used to fill in. All right. So I had somebody here, and I don't know where they are now. So we need, well, see an elephant. See, the elephant makes sense, but it again, it looks good there. But I think I had something, a little something that was a little askew. Well, well, oh, how about, and I'll show you these other magazines I just got. I don't know how I got those. I'm not subscribed to those. We got this dude. I love this dude. I have him in a lot of different scenarios. He's also from the cruise ship. I just love his smile. Doesn't he have a sweet smile? Let me see if I can't get the glare. Can you see him? Doesn't he have a nice smile? Is it like Skillshare? Yes and no. I have subscribed to Skillshare, and Skillshare is more, it's all craft. So Great Courses is craft, but mostly a lot of academic kind of stuff, like languages and world history, or things like that. The Skillshare is good also. But it is similar to that. And the other one is the Domestika. Oh, I'm glad to hear he's going to be home Tuesday. So he's getting better. That's good. And my brother's not well, so it's hard. So I'm going to stick this guy here. If I went back and showed you some older glue books, he's in them in various different sizes, depending on, and I have something to put right on there that he's going to be serving up. I think he's going to be serving up Buddha. Let's see. Let's come back here. Come on. Or maybe could be serving those up, or these two little girls. What do you think? Yeah, I think I'm going to have them serve them up those. Ooh, how about? Oh, he's too big. The Great Chef, Jacques Pepin. Ooh, I'll have him put the little girls up. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yes, it is hard at this moment. He was released from the hospital, and they sent him to a rehab center, and it was a nightmare. And he begged his wife, my sister-in-law, begged her to bring him home. Yes, I used to watch. And then his daughter, Jacques Pepin, and his daughter. So they brought him home, and he has 24-hour around the care. And Leslie said some of the the people are awesome and some are not. So I don't know how. I mean, it's costing them $5,000 a week, and I don't know how. I know insurance will cover some of it. Is that really the name of the place, Mrs.? No. Moving to Normal in Oregon or something? I heard something on Mary's stream about a town called Normal. Oh, okay. And in And Barb Owens has a book titled Normal Doesn't Live Here Anymore. Do you remember? Holy. Well, I'm sure there is a town somewhere called Normal. I'm sure there is. That would be, again, I'll probably put something there. I think maybe we'll have a penguin over here walking down the road. But with these type of things, my mom's been in the hospital 3 times. Oh my gosh. It's so difficult. My father was military, and the military have phenomenal health care coverage. It's called TRICARE. And that's just incredible. Everything is covered under TRICARE, which is good. So I need something here, and let's see. I only have some big stuff. Let's see. Again, I shouldn't have done that, but shoulda, coulda, done, shouldn't have. Yeah, I screwed that up. So I might have to peel that back or paint that in maybe. So we'll go on to another page. But I did get this. I did want to, I'm sorry for the glare. Let's see if oh, that's not too bad. I mean, I really don't have any really decent equipment here, so. Hi. It's so hard, Stephanie, to say hi to everybody. And as people come in, if you get there right at the beginning and you can just say hi to a couple of people and then say hi as people come in. But if you come in, 15, 20 minutes late and all of a sudden there's a ton of people to say hi to, I think that I know a lot of people are using a blanket hello to everybody, but I'm sure eventually the fibbers will come up with an expression that will cover our highs to everybody. But it's so hard. So. All righty. I have some big ones over here that I am ready to, like this one I love. Let me get this out of the, well, this is one that was on the back of, and I love, so this is a gorgeous, as they would say in New York, a gorgeous picture. Isn't that gorgeous? Let me see if I can't get in. Am I in? Is that good? Can you see that picture? Yeah. And I love this. This is a twirling dervish. And this little guy here was going to go here. And this is like a little, it's not a kabuki, but an oriental. I had bigger ones of those too. So I'm going to glue that there. But let me make sure there's not something I want to put down there because I keep on screwing that up. And let's see. Yeah, this is a big one too. So I think I'll stick this one over here. Yeah, I'm going to have some creases, but that's okay. It's cool. And I don't think I have anything narrow to go down there for now. So let me just look. I've got this bedroom scene here. So that can go here. Maybe that'll go here. Yeah, I'm trying. So this could kind of go like so, but I really want the pillows. Yeah, let's see. Well, that's not too bad. Again, I'm afraid I have nothing. I need something skinny down here, and I don't have anything. So, Mamma Mia. Here we go again, Lala. What? I got the elephants. All right. I'm sorry, guys. I should just glue. But if I were here alone, I would be asking myself the same questions. So, I'm just looking around, within arm's reach, so to speak. Yeah. What do you think? A little splash of red. This is my paper from my toilet paper company, the infamous Who Gives a Crap. Napkin. Ooh, how about a little napkin? Oh, look, a napkin of the Arc de Triomphe, I think. That will work. All righty, I'll do that. That's cool. All right. You get that toilet paper? Yeah, they are funny. They are a funny company. I love their sense of humor. And they build toilets. Every time you buy their toilet paper, they send money or they contribute to the building of toilets. I know this is an odd subject, but we all take for granted the fact that we have a toilet. And that's not necessarily the case in the rest of the world. Yes, we're in Paris now. Yes. Yes, we are. Yeah, these cruises are. I look at a lot of them go through. A lot of them stop in Mallorca, the island of Mallorca, which I spent. I lived there for a year. I think, as I've shared that story with you before, but I was very fortunate to live on the island of Mallorca for a year, and that was an incredible. I get okay, odd but critically important. One of my favorites. Oh, Mamma Mia. Oh, okay. Isn't that Mamma Mia stars Meryl Streep? Yes. One of my all-time favorite actresses. That was one of her more lighter roles. She is just phenomenal. She is just an incredible actress. Anybody here been watching? Yes. Yeah, this was Mallorca. That was one of those incredible experiences. Do I have told you the story of Mallorca? I mean, believe me, there's tons of Mallorca stories for sure. But the college that I went to out on Long Island, right, was a little tiny college. It was a part of a larger university, Delphi University, and then it broke off and became its own college. But anyway, there was a professor at Dowling College. It became known as Dowling. It was a Delphi Suffolk when I went to it, and then it broke off and became an independent college on its own. And they named the school Dowling College because Robert Dowling donated millions of dollars. So, I mean, anyway, there was a professor there when I was 18. Yeah, it's another type of world altogether. So there was a professor there at Dowling College that had been to Mallorca once, and he wanted to figure out a way of going back to Mallorca and not have to pay for it. And so he decided, why not have Dowling College create the Mediterranean Institute of Dowling College. And they would invite famous authors from around, the literary circles, right? Have a house where they could be in residence. Hi, function of light, Folo. How are you? And they would be writers in residence. And they would give lectures to us students, and they would get to live on the island of Mallorca for a month. So we had a writer in residence program. Now, the guy that oversaw the program was a very, very famous English writer and poet guy by the name of Robert Graves. He wrote I, Claudius, and many other things. He lived on the island of Mallorca. Gertrude Stein had once said to him, if you want to live in paradise, go to Mallorca. So Robert Graves moved to Mallorca, and he was there continuously until the Spanish Civil War. When Franco took over, Robert Graves fled the island. And then when he came back, he had to buy his finca back. Finca is Spanish for a small farm. So, and then he came back after the Spanish Civil War and continued his residence there. And his son ran the pension. So they took over a pension, and that became our dorm. And so I went there and took 35 credits in various courses, mostly English lit and writing and stuff like that. And initially they had the first class starting at 8 a.m. in the morning. Not a good idea. Nobody was showing up for the 8 a.m. classes because we were it was just a year of, things that, you wonder how you survived. And so then they decided that they would change the whole schedule. So the first class now was not until 11 a.m. And so people showed up for an 11 a.m. class. So a typical day was the first class of the day was at 11 a.m. And then we would break for lunch. And then typical after lunch, of course, you have your siesta. And so you had one class in the morning, a big lunch, nothing until 4. Things would start up again at 4. And then we would take classes from 4 in the afternoon until 8 o'clock at night. I mean, dinner, in Madrid, dinner is not served until 9, 10 o'clock at night. The restaurants, start, doing. So I have to say, very easily got into the swing of this lifestyle. Partying, getting up at 11, going to class, doing the siesta, lunch break, taking classes from, 4 in the afternoon till 8 at night, and then dinner at 10. And then the whole thing would start all over again. And we met so many people. This was 69, 70. And there was a lot of expats that lived in Mallorca. And we lived in the village of Daya. It was up in the mountains. Palma, which was like the Miami Beach, I would say was like you would go like Miami. Palma was like the Miami Beach of Europe. So we would go down into Palma, but Daya was up in the mountains, way up in the mountains. And the phone number of the pension that we stayed in was 3. That was the phone number. Congelat. and the phone number was 3. It was one hell of an experience. It was just insane, absolutely insane. The people that I met, the people that just were passing through, the authors that were there. Hi, Aunt Beck. How is your Saturday afternoon going? I hope it's not too hectic. We had one of the probably I would say probably the most famous author that was there, other than Robert Graves. And Robert Graves would come down off the mountain, so to speak, and occasionally talk to us. Was a guy by the name of Anthony Burgess. I don't know whether anybody would be familiar with Anthony Burgess nowadays, but probably his most famous piece of work was a really creepy book called A Clockwork Orange. So he was probably his most famous thing that he wrote. Oh, okay. You down to your last pair of undies? Now it's serious, right? So you're going to be fixing your own dryer? Yeah. Let's see. The parts finally arrived. Okay. Anthony Burgess was the spy. No, he wasn't a spy. A Clockwork Orange. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's kind of a very violent movie, especially for when it was written. Well, the writer that was a spy was Ronald Dahl. Who wrote children's books. He was a spy. He and Ian Fleming, the guy who wrote all the James Bond books, they were buddies and they were spies during World War II for the British government. But Anthony Burgess lived on the island of Malta. And so he was one of the authors in residence. Yeah, Dahl was a spy. Yeah. Fascinating. He started out as a pilot, and he was a rather tall, lanky guy, and he crashed in Egypt in the desert, and he literally broke both of his knees. And so the British government, after he recovered, recruited him to be a spy. And Ian Fleming also was a spy. Now, Dahl's actual job was actually, I only know this because I read a great book about this period of time, and I'm embarrassed that I can't remember the name of it, but if I do, I will post it because it's great reading. But anyway, Dahl is actually sent to DC, and his job was to kind of get into the inner circles of the DC crowd, because at that time, what they really needed and they wanted obviously the United States to commit to help the Brits with against Hitler and the Nazis. Now we were sending them stuff. We had the Lend-Lease program, and but they wanted us to physically get involved, and Winston Churchill was pushing forward to that. So Dahl was actually stationed in DC, and he was schmoozing it up, with all the DC socialites, and so he had so he spent some time in DC, and his really underlining assignment was to find out as much as he could about the American, what the Americans' plans were and how soon were they going to, jump in and help Britain. See, I think that looks kind of good, right? I'm liking that. All right. Let me see. That's a fascinating story. And then he started writing children's books. So he went from a washed up pilot that crashed in the desert in Egypt to working for the British government, trying to encourage the Americans or find out information as to when the Americans would get involved. And of course, after Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, then there wasn't any question that they were going to get involved. So that page is looking pretty good. I've got some things to do. Let's see, Candy. You are fit and sassy today. Yeah. See, I should say supposedly. Who will we had a hateful attitude? Doll, unfortunately, had some very hateful. Yes. Yes. Again, very complex character. Very, very, very complex person, for sure. Well, actually, that doesn't look too bad there. Now, I need something here, but I wish I had, well, I wish I had, let's see. Oh, I made a new stamp, but I'm working on it. This is the stamp, this little lady here, and I drew in the legs and stuff. Let's see. Just need a little something on the bottom. And, well, let's see. I got some, well, that's random, isn't it? But why not, right? It's a glue book. Yes. Well, that's not original. I got that idea from, they were on the cover of this month's Uppercase magazine, and they're gorgeous. And I just rearranged it. So this is, and then I made the stamp, but this is them full. I don't know, you can see it. This is in black and white, but they're actually in color. And I just love the design of the simple design of these women. I printed them out in black and white because I was going to be messing around with them, but they are so cool. But they're on the cover of this month's, what was the sick? Let's see. Okay. And on the cover of Uppercase. So then I made a stamp. Let's see. Oops. You know, when I say make a stamp, these are not carved stamps. This is the foamy stuff that I cut out and stick on a piece of cardboard. And then voila, you have a little stamp. And then I've been carving too. You've seen some of my carving stamps too. So I digress. All right, I'm going to stick this piece of newsprint here just to fill that hole, right? And then I'll put that bed in. So, you know, when you're doing the glue books, it's kind of like, it's like a puzzle, right? And this is, you know, these pictures, this is just a little bit more complicated for me. Let's see, put this here, right? And we want to cover, I guess we want to go, I want to go down here like so. This is going to go here, right? And I want to fill that in. That's all I can say there. Stick that there. All right. So was anybody watching poor Mary when she went out and she didn't realize that she had lost her connection? And I guess her phone went dead. I had tried private messaging her to let her know. And that, but there was a group that hung in there. There was a group that hung in there, and were very confident that they said that Mary would come back. And this is late now. It's like 12:30, 1 o'clock, in the morning, and I kind of signed off, and then I kind of got ready for bed, and then I came back and I turned on my iPad and I saw Mary Part 2, and sure enough, she had come back. Just it's exactly how they had predicted it. So she did come back, and she was working on oh man, somebody's cat with watercolors. I'm always amazed, the way she just effortlessly paints. It just blows my mind. It's amazing. Yeah, she was really late. Yeah, I don't think she signed off until almost, well, it was after 2 a.m. Yeah, it was late. All right, so that's not bad. So I need something there, but I'm not going to worry about that. Actually, I could put this little lady there. Yeah, all right. Now I need something here. Here. Let's see. Let me lift this up. I thought I had a slew of pictures, and the slew is now reduced to not too many. All right. I haven't glued this down yet. So this can go here, and I can cut that. Or I like to wrap it around too. That's always a good thing. You wrap it around, and then you get a little something on the next page. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. All right. We're all good. Yeah, she's so talented, man. And she just doesn't give herself enough credit, That's, in my opinion, yes, we all should be humble, but it's easy for me to be humble because I don't have any talent, but relatively speaking, we all have abilities, right? Somebody's having soup. Yeah. Once the weather gets, yeah. Unfortunately, in Florida, it never really gets, we have to pretend, right? So we turn the air conditioning down. Cool down the house and then make a pot of chili or something like that, right? Yeah. You used to love like chili. My mom was she was just a phenomenal cook. She just was amazing. When I was growing up, we ate literally around the world, where the rest of the kids in the neighborhood were eating, I don't know, spaghetti and meatballs. We were eating Indian food and very exotic stuff. We were eating Mexican food before anybody even knew what Mexican food was. This is before Taco Bell. My mom was making it, Mexican food from scratch because my dad had been stationed in Coronado, California. So they had, they had been exposed to, Mexican food. And that's before you couldn't buy tacos already made. They actually came in, the corn tortillas actually came in a tin can. And with a pop, and then, she would fry them and then make nobody in my neighborhood knew it, never heard of any of that. And my mom subscribed to Bon Appetit and Gourmet Magazine. So we were having, very, in a tin can. Yeah. And they were, what brand? A brand that's still around. And she would fry them up and then have the fillings, of course. And then Indian curry. Now, our version of Indian curry was an Americanized version of Indian curry, not like the Indian curry, like the real stuff that you guys, Janet, get over in England. Um, but it was an Americanized version of Indian curry. But everyone loved it, and we had like the condiments that you put on top. They were called boys because in India, the story goes, the little boys would do all the chopping, and you could have tons of boys. So it was like you could have an Indian curry buffet. And she made her Indian curry. It was a chicken curry in a curry sauce, chicken in a curry sauce. And sometimes we would have as many as 14 condiments. And what you'd put the rice on a plate, and then you'd go around and take a teaspoon of whatever you liked. And it would be like chopped celery, green pepper, hard-boiled eggs, raisins, bananas, apples, coconut, hot chutney, sweet chutney, on and on and on. And then you would just whatever you liked, chopped radishes, anything that you could chop would be one of the things. And then you would just put a teaspoon of that on the plate, and then you'd put the chicken curry sauce on top of that, chopped peanuts, you name it. And so that was my mom's version of Indian curry. And we had I didn't know that wasn't authentic. I had no idea. Until in college, I worked when I was in college under what they called a work study program. And I was a secretary to an Indian sociology professor. Ashkant Nimbark. I will never forget him as long as I live. Great guy. And I was his secretary. And the reason why I could be his secretary is because I took typing in high school. The best class I ever took in my life. Typing. What a lifelong skill. And I could type. And poor Ashkant, the biggest thing that he wanted to do was he wanted to be published in the New York Times in the worst possible way. So literally, every week, my job would be to type up his letter to the editor. Every week, he would respond to the editor of the New York Times in hopes that his letter to the editor would be published. And I don't know that he was ever published. I don't recall. So I worked for Ashkant Nimbark. So getting back to this, I know I digress, but getting back to this Indian curry and how I knew it wasn't authentic. I had moved out. I was living in a little cottage with a friend of mine in college. My mother had had one of her infamous Indian curry banquet buffet dinners, right? And there was leftovers. And she said, here, why don't you take the leftovers home? And I was so excited. I said, yes, I will take them home, and I will invite Dr. Nimbark to the house for dinner. And we can have the leftover curry. If you could have seen the look on this man's face, God bless him. He was so polite. But this was not any type of Indian curry that he had ever had in his life. And he didn't say much, but I knew we were in trouble when he was asking whether I had any cayenne pepper. So I said, yeah, I have some cayenne pepper. So there he is, dousing the whole plate with cayenne pepper, trying to spice it up, son. It was pretty funny. So that's when I realized that this really wasn't the real deal when it comes to Indian curry. This was an Americanized, bastardized version of Indian curry. And but he was very polite. He just asked for the cayenne pepper and moved on. So good man, good man. But I don't know that he ever got published in the New York Times. I ended up, some small things. I'm thinking that all the olives were green and didn't like them. Yeah, but that's so true. You know, so many of those. I mean, I'm reading what Flo is saying, and it's so true. You know, um, it's amazing what you learn as you grow up. As sophisticated as I thought my palate was, right? It was not. It was sophisticated, but it really wasn't when you looked at the Indian curry. I mean, so, all righty. I have, that's going to go there. Now I have these little boats. And I'm going to stick those here. They are boats, honest to God, folks. Even though they don't look like boats, they are. And I have these wee little people. I mean, this is when you get into serious wee little people that are going to go on those boats. All righty, let's do it. And I'm going to get the wee glue stick. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, one of the guys that had gone to Mallorca, he and his wife were in St. Pete's on the West Coast. And we attempted to get together, but it just didn't work out. The hurricane was kind of in the way, and we were going to meet halfway, but we just weren't able to pull it off. But if I had, it would have been the first time I had seen him in 50 years. It was an interesting group of students. They advertised this Mediterranean Institute around the country. So there were students there from Minnesota and New Jersey, and of course the Dowling College kids. And I think there were maybe 30 students in all. And it only lasted 1 year. But the professors whose idea it was to get back to Mallorca and not have to pay for it, it worked. Yeah, we've been so lucky. Oh my gosh, here on the East Coast of Florida. I mean, the West Coast and Central America, I guess Nicaragua really got smacked around. The hurricane season doesn't really end until November 30th. It's a 6-month season. It just, we've been very fortunate. The worst for us here was, I would imagine, was Hurricane Irma. My lakefront, my waterfront property quadrupled in size. Fortunately, it didn't get into the house. I live on a small pond, which right now is inundated with ducks. I counted 20 ducks out there the other day, 10 pair. I'm on the 18th hole of a golf course. And the other day I was sitting here and all of a sudden the house was hit by a golf ball. Didn't break a window, but I think I've made this comment before. I always have a lot of old men looking for their balls in my backyard. And the other day there was an old man. Any gators? No, I haven't. I know there's been some gators on some other of the ponds on this golf course, but none on this particular. This is the 18th hole. So they're all pretty tired by the time they get here. I'm sorry. What should I say? Old men looking for their cojones? I guess I could say that. Yes. We have sandhill cranes, obviously, and ducks, and tons of squirrels. Oh my gosh, we have so many squirrels. And the other day, I actually saw 2 squirrels chase a rabbit. I'd never seen that before. I thought they all, kind of like, in Disney, they all live happily ever after. Thumper and whatever. I'm sure the squirrels must have had names in Bambi. I don't know. But yeah, all of a sudden I see this little bunny rabbit go darting across the lawn, and here are these 2 rabbits chasing it. It's crazy. Oh, I don't want to. Oh, dear. Don't want to cover up that boat. So I'll bring that down a little bit. I worked very hard at cutting that out. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. That'll work. Yeah, let's move that over a schmidge. All right. I'm glad I noticed that, because I would have been a little upset with myself. Many of you get upset when you're crafting? Because I do. And then I'm thinking to myself, this is ridiculous. You're supposed to be doing this to relax, not to get all PO'd at yourself. And sometimes I just get so frustrated, and that kind of defeats the purpose of doing this. Yeah, I wouldn't even think that. That's what I was thinking. That's why I was surprised. Have fun doing laundry. Again, I hope the dryer's working, because it's not fun when you have to hang clothes out on the line, even though we used to do that. I don't know how many of you folks have done that. I did that when we lived on the farm. I would hang the clothes out on a clothesline, but it's not much fun. But just think about that. It's not that long ago that not everybody had a dryer either. That's people living without dryers really isn't ancient history when you think about it. So, yes. Well, Scott is very talented in doing repairs and handyman kind of stuff. But thank goodness to Google. You can usually find out how to fix something on Google, because somebody has posted a video. You haven't lived London for frozen jeans. Yes, that's true. Right. They stand up by themselves in the corner until they thaw out. You got it. You got that. Yes. For sure. I might have to put a little piece of washi tape there, but that's not too bad. And I'm not. Oh, what the heck, Ann? See? Put that newsprint down, and then I'm covering up. I am just not. All right, I will figure this out. Let's go another way. All right, that's okay. That's fine. We'll just leave it like that. It's no biggie. No. Okay. So what else is new? Not much. Going to my dear friends for Thanksgiving. These are the only people that I have been with since COVID, so they're it. They're the only people that I've been socializing with, and I think I've talked to you about them before. They are from Ireland originally, and I met Maura Haggerty when I was teaching. And so that's 20 years ago, and we've been friends ever since. And she went back to Ireland for a while, and then now they're here, and they live up in Cape Canaveral. Oh, speaking of Cape Canaveral, we had the most beautiful view of the latest SpaceX launch the other night. and it was a night launch, and it was amazing. I literally went out and stood at the end of my driveway, and there was just myself, my roommate. I'm in a duplex, so what we call each other's, we're roof mates because we share a roof because we're in a duplex. And so Jeannie was out there, and then there was another couple further down, and that was it. We were the only ones out on our street, and it was a beautiful launch. Oh my gosh, just lit up the whole sky. And Beth Schuler took some pictures. Beth lives Beth lives close to me. And she's in an area where she can see the launch also. So she took some pictures and posted them. I asked Jeannie to share her pictures with me, and she said she did, but they didn't come through. But it was just a spectacular launch. You're very fortunate to live here. And this is, and I think I've mentioned this before, this is she's close by, obviously, because she saw the launch. I think she's further west than I am. I think she would be northwest of where I am. Cage Fish is also, I don't know if you're familiar with Cage Fish, but she's also here in Florida. She's in Lakeland, so she's about 2.5 hours west of where I am. There's a whole, Johnny's here in Florida. There's a whole slew of us here in Florida. I mean, we could do a Florida conference. Okay, Cape Canaveral, yeah. It's so interesting when you're driving into Cape Canaveral. Well, not now, but when the cruise ships were operating, you'd look up at the end of the road. There'd be like this gigantic cruise ship as it just kind of came across the end. It looked like it was like in the middle of the road, and it wasn't. It was just like an optical illusion. All right. So, well, look at I like this. This page is, Lizzie's in Florida also. Yes. And so is Carhart. Carhart's in Florida also, because I know Carol actually visited Lizzie. And I would say they're probably in the 2.5 hour away from me. Your parents in Orlando? Oh, wow. Well, we're only an hour and 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I mean, I can get from here to the Orlando airport in 55 minutes. I've clocked it. Now it's going a little fast, but yeah, 55 minutes. So what do we have here? Whoops. Well, we got some stuff done, right? We got this done. I'm going to put something here, either a stamp or a doodle. I like this page. I got to put something here. And this is kind of open here. Maybe do something here, but we got a sideways Christmas tree. Speaking of a Christmas tree, I have to buy a Christmas tree. When I moved, I didn't bring any of my Christmas stuff because I figured I wasn't going to be doing, Christmas really. And now all of us, my son and my grandsons are coming for Christmas, and I don't have a Christmas tree. Yes, I have a toucan on my shoulder. Let me put something there. Here. I like these ladies too. Yeah. But you see these, that's why I like these advertisement thingies, because they just keep on giving, that and that. Let me just show you this real quick. All right. And I made this I love making these little thingies, these little closures like so. Actually, I only have a handful of pictures left. I'll have to go and search. But I started getting this magazine, and I didn't subscribe to it, but it's Conte Nast is the company that publishes, I do believe, Vogue. and maybe Vanity Fair. And now I'm getting this Traveler magazine. And so you would think that well, I was fortunate enough. My father, I think I've told this story too. My father worked for the airlines. He actually worked for a cargo airline. I've told you the story before, but I could fly anywhere for free. You know, he would have somebody of his that worked for Air India. Mom and I flew Air India first class from New York to London one year. And he had a friend that worked for Alitalia. So we flew first class on Alitalia from New York to Rome one year. So I was very fortunate to be able to travel. And these were men that were basically at the same administrative level that he was. And he was a cargo airline. And look at this. See, I'm going to be cutting some of this out too. Have you ever done that? I've seen a lot of collage or crafters that they'll make like the size of a page or a particular size that they want, and then they'll just make a little frame and they'll just put it over a picture, and so they can visualize what it's going to look like. Look at this. I love blurry pictures like this. See this? I'll do another stream where I'm just harvesting pictures, because I think to watch somebody harvest pictures kind of gives you an idea of, what they're thinking. Oh man, London. I loved London Tower, and I love the fact that the guide referred to the beefy, the guards as gin and water. He referred to them as gin and water, the beef eater guys. I thought that was so funny. Windsor Castle. Now, I've been to London several times. So, yeah. The weather, not so much. But I do remember how red their geraniums were. Now, I was there in February, which is pretty nasty. As a matter of fact, when we left London to come home, it was snowing like a son of a gun. We were the last plane to get out of London. And my mother contended the pilot must have had a hot date in New York, because that's why we left. But yeah, it was, London Tower, Westminster. Yeah. My favorite art gallery is the Tate. I just love the Tate. The British Museum of Natural History. All of that stuff is pretty cool. And one year we were there, when I lived in Mallorca, we had 6 weeks to travel. So we spent New Year's Eve in London. But the interesting thing in London is that all public transportation stops at 11. So we were in Trafalgar Square, and if we wanted to get back to the hotel before the public transportation stop, we had to, we had to leave Trafalgar Square. Now, I don't know whether that's the case anymore, but that's how I remember. And then after 11 or so, then the cabbies have a field day. I remember, Janet, weren't you describing the cabs to Cole the other days? I love the black London cabs. And you probably know this, but apparently it takes years to become a licensed cabbie in London, because those cabbies have to know the entire history of London, and when they have to know where every street is, the amount of knowledge that they have to have and the test that they have to pass to become a cabbie is formidable. If I ever get back, yes, it would be great. Yes. Oh, it's the underground. The buses run 24/7. Okay. All righty. Gotcha. All righty. The tube. Yeah. Well, and then again, the tube, that's, well, we went out to, what was all the, again, this is the 60s. They call the knowledge. Yeah. No Uber in London. Well, back in 69, 70, nobody had ever heard of Uber. Have they managed to keep Uber out of London now? Is that what you're saying? Because that's pretty formidable to be able to do that. Obviously the Mears Limo, they have Uber. Yeah, Uber. Yeah. that's kind of, I don't know how you feel about Uber. I find it kind of creepy personally. I've used them on a couple occasions, and I've downloaded the app to use them on my, uh, yeah, I'm sure they are the podcasts. And when you download the Uber app, right, all of a sudden you'll see where all those cabs are, and it's kind of like they're hovering. You see all these little images of cars, and you can see on a map how close they are to you, and they're kind of like all there. It's just kind of, I don't know why I find that creepy, but I do. So this picture here, isn't this cool? This is the Winter Light on the Trans-Siberian Railroad going across Russia. Isn't that gorgeous? They talk about, on average, the temperature there is minus 54. And then look at this. So look at all these pictures I'm going to be cutting out. A lot of harvesting going on here. See this Oceania cruise? I can hold that up if you want to take a look at that. Because if you write them, they too will send you those beautiful travel catalogs. And they will never stop. I've been getting them for years. And all of those pictures that you saw me using today, all of them came out of those cruise catalogs. They are amazing. See, look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? So anyway, there's going to be a lot of harvesting going on here. Yeah. Now, that's what I call first class. When you get to lie down and sleep. Yeah, that would be cool. I have flown first class, but nothing like that. But see, look at these pictures. Aren't these great? So this magazine is pretty cool. And I didn't subscribe to it, but it's coming. I've got my second issue. And I think this is really interesting. Also, they're now literally marketing Legos for adults. Is that not cool? I am a huge Lego fan, I have to tell you. If you just hang on 1 second, I'll be right back. I'll show you my latest Lego. I will be back in a moment. You ready? Ta-da! I couldn't resist. I could not resist. So this is the Lego Bug. I could not resist. I had to have it. It took a while to put together because I had the help of my cat, Lily, who would get a hold of the tires and take off with them. But I mean, I love Lego. I played Legos with my kids, but the details, look, the doors open, the seats go up and back. There's even a beach towel in the back here. You got your spare tire in the front. I mean, the details are unbelievable. And then, of course, this is the beach version. And what I love, that in the cooler, are you ready? Are you ready for this? Let me get it out for you. They have wine glasses. Ha, 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 ha. And beer cozies. How do you like that? So this is and ice cubes. That's an ice cube. Here is a wine glass. And here is a beer cozy. So that's the adult. Now, I had a red VW. I would have loved to have gotten a red one, but they didn't have a red. But I mean, Legos, the ingenuity, how well, the thing I liked about Legos for the kids, you don't have to be able to read. We have the Friends Studio set. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. So this is the Lego, and because you've got the engine in the rear engine. Whoops. So again, I don't want to tip it around too much, but yeah. But now they're marketing. This is the second time I've seen a full size, full page ad for Legos for adults, which I think is pretty cool. And this thing it's heavy. It's got some weight to it. So, and then on the driver's side, obviously you've got you can see it, but there's a gear shift. The gear shift's in there. Whoop. Anyway, so I had a 1968 VW, red, and great car. So that's so now if you look here, they've got I guess that's the Dubai building and the Empire State Building. I guess they have the Star Wars. They have the, what's the big stars? The Faulkner? Is that the one? Yes, I did do a little bit of tooling around in my VW. Yes, I did. And they have the big Faulkner, and that's the most expensive kit. And I think it's like $8,000, and it's, I don't know, 10,000s and thousands of pieces. But look, this is an actual marketing ad for Adults Welcome. So anyway, and I'm doing a black and white journal, so that would be a picture that I'd want I'm going to take that out one day when I'll work on that. Just black and white pictures. I've been collecting them for years. Harry Potter, yeah, I do get the catalog, Mary Beth. I do get the Lego catalog. I get it. Yep, I do. I already get it. My grandsons play a little bit of Legos. My oldest son, huge Lego person, major Lego, major. And look at the old car from Cuba. Yep. So anyway, this is a pretty cool magazine. And again, look at all these pictures I'm going to harvest. This little book that I've made is certainly not going to be big enough. I'm going to have. I mean, look at these colors. Aren't those spectacular? So, Coyote. Anyway, look at this. Look at that blue. Isn't that gorgeous? That's Colorado. I just love it. The colors just are amazing, right? So this is the Traveler magazine, and all of a sudden I started getting it. This front door, it's too bad that they had to put this here. I guess I could find something to cover that up, right? That's just kind of ruined everything, right? To put that there. And I showed you that nostalgia memorabilia kits that I bought of the Beatles, and I got some more. I got the Victorian etiquette one, which I will share with you another day. People are probably getting bored with this, but 1920s, and let's see. Victorian entertainment. That'll be fun. And on the home front, these things are chock full. So those are the latest ones I just bought. I think if you buy two, you get one. The 1950s. Now these are all British. These are produced in Edinburgh. So these are all with British flair and British actors and actresses. So anyway. Well, listen, ladies, thank you so much for spending this afternoon with me, and I will try to pop in again. I don't know why I don't. I'm going to continue to work on this, but I just want to show you. Quickly. This is it. This is what I got left. I just got a couple of little pieces left. And then I've used everything that I cut out. So there's not much left. I got through a lot. That's all that's left out of all that stuff that I cut out. I thought I had tons of stuff, and it's within another hour or two, that'll all be in that glue book. So have a lovely afternoon. Again, thank you. Where did I get these? I got them out of that Oceania cruise catalogs. Again, I would write them and ask for their catalogs. Oh, here's another picture. Yeah, I'll put it up there again if you want to copy it down. I got on their mailing list, and I've been receiving their catalogs probably for the last 3 or 4 years. Let's see. Can you see that? Oceania Cruises. And they have cruises that are themed. Oh, the packets. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the packets are, I got some of them on Amazon, and I would suggest going to Amazon. But they're made in Edinburgh. They're called the Memorabilia Pack Company. Now, I bought some of these directly from Edinburgh, and the postage was ridiculous. But Amazon actually carries some of them, and they're just type in, I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. I don't know. I don't really have a camera. My camera, is just an arm. It's Memorabilia Pack Company. That's not focusing, is it? No. That's all it's called. Memorabilia Pack, P-A-C-K, Company. And they're chock full. The stuff that's in there, these packets, is amazing. They have the White House. Okay. Yeah, I bought the Beatles. I got the Beatles, the Titanic. And there was another one. And then I ordered these. They're just chock full of goodies. And now what do you do with them? Well, I'm going to start using them. I'm going to give them away and use them, because this doesn't do me any good sitting in this thing, right? So I'm just going to give them away. Okay. So again, goodbye and have a wonderful afternoon. Be safe. And as my mother used to say, if you can't be good, be careful. See you out on the internets, folks. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate you stopping by.